If I had to start acting again from zero, no agent, no credits, no contacts, nothing at all, these are the exact steps that I would take to land my first TV role in record time. Hey everybody, my name is Ross Grant. Welcome back to the channel. If you are here for the first time, please do like this video, hit subscribe, turn your notifications on so you don't miss any content. We're going to be putting videos out every single week, helping you guys get more auditions and more roles on TV. So I've been a professional actor now for over 20 years, and in that time I've landed roles on over 40 TV shows. I've voice acted in flagship shows, animations for the BBC, for Netflix, and I've also coached over 40,000 actors over on my platform, actonthis.tv. That's Act On This, the TV Actors Network, the largest online community of TV actors in the UK. If you want to go check it out, you can click a link up here. Don't go there now. You can if you want, but keep this video on. We've got loads to discuss today. So I'm going to dive right in, okay? If I was starting again from scratch and I had to get my first TV role in record time, the first thing that I would do is find a great quality TV acting class. And the word TV is really important because you want to work on TV, okay? You will find lots of acting classes out there that deal in theatre, and they're amazing. If you want to work in theatre, you can study Shakespeare and Brecht and Chekhov and do all the zip zap bong drama games that you want, but it's not that useful for TV, okay? The reason you want to find a TV acting class is because you want to get on camera as often as you can, and you want to watch yourself back on camera. In these classes, they'll be recording everything you do every single week. You can get that footage back, watch it, analyze it, see how you move, how you walk, how you talk. You'll find little things you weren't aware of that you did, little ticks. I remember when I first got on camera, I didn't realize how often I was blinking. And when you're on camera and you're acting on camera, every little blink matters. If I look into this camera and move my eyes just subtly, that plays out quite big on camera, as opposed to if I was on a stage, in which case your movements have got to be much bigger. So you want to get into a TV acting class, get yourself on camera every single week, and you want to go every single week, okay? You don't want to go monthly. If you can go to an acting class every single week, you will compress 4 years of training into one single year. So you're gonna, accelerate your career far faster if you're getting on camera every single week. And you want to find a class, if you can, that is taught by working actors, specifically actors who are working on TV. Okay, when I first started out at weekly acting classes, that's exactly what I did. And not only do you learn, the craft from these people, how to get better at acting for camera, you also learn the business from them as well, because they'll have been through loads of things and loads of pitfalls, and they'll have made loads of mistakes that you might not have to make if they can impart that wisdom on you. So it's two-part really. You're learning how to act, but you're also learning more about the business side of this business. Price-wise, this is really important. I'm quite passionate about this, right? You don't want to overpay. In a 2026 kind of world, you want to be paying roughly £25 to £30 for your weekly acting class. And don't get this confused with workshops. We can talk about those in a different video. But we're talking about your weekly acting class, a 2-hour, a 3-hour session, okay? £25 to £30. Other advantages of doing a weekly class on camera is if you go to a good one, they will teach you audition technique as well, okay? So auditioning is very different to just acting on camera and improving your technique. If you go to an audition, which hopefully you will go to eventually down the line when you get more established, it's a different kind of acting. You've got 15 minutes really to impress, maybe the director, the writer, the casting director. These people called casting assistants and casting associates. Again, we can go over that in other videos. But it's pretty different. It's way more pressurized. And if you go to a good TV acting class, you'll find that they do mock auditions. And if they're really good, they might even bring in casting directors to actually sit in and do these mock auditions with you. They might bring in agents as well, which is fantastic because it means you're getting in front of industry people. You're getting in front of them really early on in your career. So acting classes are essential. Drama school is not. Don't get this, confused with drama school. Drama school will cost you significantly more, probably about £55,000 for the degree that I did. But although I went to drama school, and when I left, I had to sort of learn the whole TV industry again. I had to learn acting for camera almost from scratch because they didn't teach me really anything about TV. It was all theatre. And honestly, some of the most successful people that I know, far more successful than I am, you know, they have not been to drama school and they have won Academy Awards, BAFTAs. They're working at the top of the game. They've made 7 figures, millions of pounds out of this industry, and they didn't go to drama school. So training is essential. Absolutely essential. Honing your craft is essential, but drama school is not. So that's kind of step number 1. You want to Google your area, you know, TV acting class, see what's knocking around. Okay, you will find some great classes. Do your due diligence. Remember, don't overpay. Make sure they're being run by people who are working in the industry. You can also check out Facebook groups. If you go on Facebook, just search for groups to do with acting in the UK, acting, independent film, TV acting, that sort of stuff. And if you want to join a Facebook group for free that has 10,000 actors in it, super supportive, where you can ask some questions. We've got a Facebook group at Act on this. You just click up here. You can go check that out. But that's point number 1. Ultimately, you want to find a fantastic acting class, start honing your craft. And then that brings me on to point number 2, which is getting some on-set experience alongside your training. Yep, there are some things that you just cannot learn in the classroom. Okay, so whilst you're learning your craft in acting class on a weekly basis, you want to get on set as soon as possible, and the fastest way to do that is by doing some background work. Okay, that's supporting artist work, extra work. It all means the same thing. You might have heard different terms, but ultimately getting on set for TV shows, and you're going to be in the background very often with no words, no speaking, you know, to do. It's just you moving from A to B. If you're on Coronation Street, for example, you might be moving from the bar to go and sit down with your drinks or something like that. So we want to get on set, as quick as possible through this type of work. And there's lots of reasons for that. First of all, how you would do this is by applying to background agencies. Okay, now again, Google is your friend, or even ChatGPT nowadays as well. Get on there, you know, type in the area you are in, and then background, you know, TV background agencies. You'll find lots, you know, come up there. You've got to do your own research. You've got to do your due diligence. Make sure that these companies are transparent when it comes to fees. Make sure they're transparent when it comes to commission. Make sure you're happy with anything, you know, contract-wise before you sign it. Okay, you've got to be responsible for yourself in this industry. Don't just sign anything without looking at it. But it's pretty accessible work, okay? Lots of background agencies are taking people on all the time. And there's an abundance of work out there. The TV industry is buzzing right now. There's lots of production, always requiring background. Now, there are 3 levels of background work. All of them pay. Some of them, as the levels go up, pay more than others. But you would start off doing something called walk-on-one work. And that really is as simple as what I just said before. You're walking from A to B. It doesn't get easier than that, okay? And you're still going to get paid, I don't know, 150, 200 quid for that. Then you've got walk on 2, which is similar. You still won't be saying anything, but you might be featured a little bit more in that scene. So a regular member of cast, for example, might be commenting on you. Okay, so it might be, when I started off, I remember I was doing a nightclub scene, loads of extras required, and I had to have really leery pants on, like these luminous green pants. And one of the main cast, as I was walking, was like, oh my God, look at that guy's pants over there. That was a walk on 2. So I was featured, but I wasn't saying anything. You get a little bit more for that, okay? Don't quote me on the prices. I don't know exactly how much that is these days, but it'd be more than walk on 1. And then you have walk on 3, which is where you will be speaking, but you won't be allowed to say any more than 13 words, okay? 14 words you would have to audition for, and it's a cast role. We'll look at that later in the video series. But for now, walk on 3 would be 13 words or less, basically. I did that starting off in an episode of Hollyoaks. It was bizarre. I actually played a clown on Hollyoaks, and I remember it to this day. This girl in the show, one of the lead characters, had to knock into me, and my line was literally, whoa, 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 what are you doing? So, whoa, 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 what are you doing? 7 words. It was under 13 words, and that was my walk on 3. And you'll get even more money for that. So not only is it great fun, background work, and you can get paid pretty well for it, there's some real reasons why we're doing it, and they're more about just getting on set and just being around those people who are doing the thing that you want to do. Okay, you're going to learn an absolute ton you can't possibly learn in the classroom. You'll learn loads of lingo. You'll hear people talking about hitting marks, doing a banana, right? That's where you've got to walk in like a banana shape. You cheat the camera still thinks you're walking straight, but yeah, you've got to walk in a banana in some scenes. You'll hear job titles like grip, best boy, gaffer, all these things that you've never heard of before. And you'll find out, what these people do. You'll see how the lighting guys work, how the audio guys work. You'll get to meet assistant directors, directors, you'll get to meet runners. Always be lovely to the runner. A runner is not someone actually running, although they do a lot of running around. They're basically on set. It's an entry-level job, just helping out practically everybody, okay? Be kind to the runners. They will be the directors of tomorrow who will probably be employing you down the line. But ultimately, yeah, you'll get to meet all those people. You'll also get to meet other actors. So you'll start building your network. So much of this industry is going to be based on the quality of the relationships you have in it. That, the better the quality the relationships you can have with people in this industry, the further you're going to go, the more opportunity you're going to find yourself getting down the line. So doing background work, being on a set, it's just a wonderful way for all of that to come together. And like I said, you're going to get paid for the privilege of doing something that you absolutely love. And let's dispel this myth right now, right? I hear a lot of nonsense out there where people say, once an extra, always an extra. They could not be more wrong. That's just some weird insecurity. I promise you, nobody cares or remembers a lot of the time who was on set as an extra. It does not define you, and you can still go on to do loads of big acting work down the line. Everybody that I know who's had success started off doing some background work to get experience on set. And that takes me on to point number 3, right? So you acting in classes now, you hone your craft, you're getting experience on set, which is going to require more of your time. Okay, you're going to need free time to be able to do these things. A lot of background work might take place through the week, and you're going to need really to set your lifestyle up to be able to fit this work in. So in the next point, we're going to look at flexible income, basically, setting up a flexible income stream so that you can free up more time to do this stuff that you love. One of the biggest things that I see messing up actors in those early days, and this has happened so many times out of those 40,000 actors that I mentioned I've coached before, is that they're in 40-hour a week, really inflexible jobs that not only don't pay that well, but they actually hate them, right? People despise their day jobs that are completely inflexible. They hate their time in that job, throughout the day. And then they go home and they've got absolutely no motivation or energy left to even put into their career. So step number 3, what I would do if I was starting out from scratch is I would be looking to win back at least 1 or 2 days a week from my day job. Because I know you've got bills to pay, you're going to have a job, right? And the reality is as well, when you're in this industry, when you're first starting out, you're going to be paying out a lot more than you're getting back. You're going to be investing a lot more into your career than you're earning back as an actor in those early days. So you've got to do your day job, but I would want to win back 1 or 2 days of that day job, so that I can be flexible and I can say yes to opportunities like that background work, go into acting class if they're not in the evening, whenever they fall. So yeah, you want to do that by setting up a side hustle. I'm a massive, massive advocate of actors and just people taking control of their lives and their finances by setting up their own side hustles, whether that's your own online business, or whether it's something more simple, like, there's so many opportunities in society these days, like maybe you drive for Uber, you do a bit of Deliveroo, a bit of Just Eat. There are many actors that I know in the Acts on This community who work for companies that really only employ actors. They love employing actors because they're charismatic, they've got gift of gab, they're generally pretty good at sales. I won't mention any names, but if you do a little Google, there are famous companies out there. There's a very famous dog food company out there. If you Google, dog food sales actors wanted or something like that, you'll find a company that do that. There's a very famous flour company as well, and they're really flexible. They're aware that the actors working for them might need time off at short notice. You can swap shifts and that sort of stuff. But ultimately, you want to win back that time while still earning money that you can invest in your career, but you want to win back that time so that you're available really to say yes. So get flexible, go explore side hustles. And I will do another video, actually. I'll do a complete video just on side hustles. I've helped so many actors set up side hustles that have really, sort of changed the trajectory of their careers. Step number 4 is where things get serious. We're going to start looking at marketing material now, okay? And that's going to begin with getting an absolutely banging headshot. So what is a headshot then? Okay, a headshot is a photograph, or it's a set of photographs, 4, 5 maximum, that you will have in a little portfolio as an actor to show to casting directors, other people in this industry who you want to work with. And the headshot, your headshot is literally the first thing that people are going to see when they are considering working with you. So it's absolutely critical that you get this part right and that it really captures who you are authentically. And this is really the main crux of this point, right? Too many actors, they come up with these absolute nonsense reasons for why they want to act. So like, I want to get into acting because, you know, I want to be other people. I don't like who I am. I'm sorry, at the start of your career particularly, right, you're going to get employed for who you are, not who you can be or who you want to be. So if you are a lovely, warm, kind, maternal person in real life, that's honestly exactly what we want to see in your first set of headshots. We don't want you playing purposely against who you are or what's known in the industry as your casting type. You know, if you're warm, kind, and friendly in real life, your casting type is probably going to be that in the acting industry. We don't want you going, right, well, actually, I don't want to be that because I don't like that. I'm going to play against that, and I'm going to look moody and a bit evil and a bit violent in this headshot because I want to play baddies. Don't do that, honestly. Who we see in your headshot is who we want to see walking through the door if you get invited to an in-person audition. You know, we really want to see the person that we've seen in the picture. If you missell yourself to a casting assistant, associate, or director, they're unlikely to maybe want to see you again, at least for a while, because they thought they were getting one thing and you were actually giving them the other. So you've got to get really authentic headshots, and that means you need to be self-aware. You really need to have a grasp of who you really are, and at that point, you know, you need to start researching headshot photographers in your area. If you want recommendations, we work with loads. There's some particular ones in the UK that stand out for us. Ask some comments, ask some questions in the comments. I'll definitely be able to, you know, help you with that. But have a little Google. Again, Google seems to be a theme here, or ChatGPT. You know, you can ask these tools for recommendations, and then go and have a look on headshot photographers' websites. Look at their portfolio of work, look at their shots. That's ultimately their products. If you go with them, that's exactly what you're going to get back. And you don't want to be spending an absolute fortune, right? You can get really, really good quality headshots from a top headshot photographer that specializes in headshots, not modeling shots, not editorial shots, not family portraits, proper headshots, roughly in the 200, 250 quid mark. I think if you're spending loads more than that when you're starting off, you're probably over-egging it. You don't need to spend that much. So again, do your research on that, and then once you've chosen your photographer, you really want to go in with a plan. Please do not go into your first headshot shoot or any headshot shoot not knowing what it is you want to come out with. Don't expect that photographer who might have met you 5 minutes earlier to know exactly who you are authentically, your personality, your casting type, where you'd fit in the industry. You need to start thinking about these things yourself before you go into that shoot, and then you can articulate to the photographer what it is you want to get out of it. And then you can even, you know, if you want to, I do this, you can even check mid-shoot, you know, on the photographer's camera, that you're getting the kind of shots that you know you want and that are going to be useful in your career. So so you can do that. And then when it comes to, very, very quickly, when it comes to what to wear for a headshot shoot, we get asked this a lot. You don't want costume. You don't want to be, you know, dressing up in loads of different outfits. You do want to hint at your casting type. I always play like squeaky clean businessmen, policemen, doctors, lawyers, like professional types. So in my headshot shoot, I will hint at that with costume, but not full costume. You know, I'm not going to dress up as a policeman. I might just wear a shirt and tie. All right. So you will want to, you know, hint at those kind of roles that you can play. But if you go in with a plan, you will come out with infinitely better shots than if you go in just hoping chance and luck are going to save you. And if you've gone into your headshot shoot with a plan, it means you come out of it knowing which shots it is that you want to choose, okay? So you don't fall into the trap so many actors fall into, where they end up posting 600 proofs, every single shot taken in that shoot, in a random Facebook group, expecting random actors who don't even know them to choose their shots for them. That's a massive mistake. And when you are choosing your shots as well, like I said, go for authenticity. Don't just look at the shots and go, oh, I don't really fit in that one, so I'm just going to choose that one. Don't do that. Choose the ones that really, you know, show your true essence and your true casting type. So that's the fourth thing, okay? Your headshot. Your headshot is going to be the thing, like it's really kind of like the gateway, you know, of your shop window. It's the gateway of your profile that you'll have online. It's the first thing that casting people are going to see to pique their interest enough whether they're going to want to see more of you. And if you get it right, they will want to see more of you, which brings me on to step number 5. Okay, if they click on your headshot, they like it, they're going to want to see you act, and that's going to be through your show reel. So super quick, what is a show reel? Okay, your show reel ultimately is just footage of you acting, showing your amazing ability so you can prove to people before they've auditioned you that they should audition you. Okay, so you're going to be sending this show reel out eventually to casting people in the industry, to directors, to other people you want to collaborate and work with, basically. And there are 2 routes you can go down to create an absolutely banging show reel, okay? They're both very different, but they're just as effective, so don't get too hung up on this. The first one is getting what's called shot from scratch custom showreel scenes done. Okay, and this is where you'll work with a showreel producer, and they will, work with you to decipher your casting type and where you fit in the industry. You should start knowing this stuff yourself anyway, though. And they'll write you a scene. They'll write you a custom scene from scratch that really showcases your casting type. You'll be working with another actor in the scene. Generally, these are all duologues. So you'll be with someone else. You'll be out on location. It's like working on a little mini film, basically. You'll be shooting like a 4 to 5 minute scene very often, out on location with costume. You'll get to work with props. You'll get to hit marks, like we talked about before. You'll get to work with what's called continuity, which is doing the same thing again and again for every take. So when those scenes are edited together, it all looks great. Everything fits together like a perfect jigsaw puzzle. There's a lot of advantages to that. You can look amazing. It's shot on beautiful cameras. You can add music in the edit, so that can sell your performance even more. You can have your scenes color graded, so it looks like Hollywood film. Ultimately, you really want, if you're getting these done, you want them to look like TV shows, okay? And that's a really important point. Not all showreel producers are equal. Please look at showreel producers' work, like you would with headshot photographers, before you book with them, okay? You want it to look like TV, not like a student film. And if you want it to look like TV, you will be paying quite a bit of money. Again, there's a theme here, isn't there? You're paying out quite a lot here, but it is an investment in your career. Shot from scratch showreel scenes, custom scenes, will cost you anywhere between £400-ish to £1,000. So it's so worth doing your due diligence. And also, just one point here as well, if you are paying that much money for a scene, you really want to work with the very best actor you can find to be in that scene with you. Don't, whatever you do, cast a mate, just because you feel less embarrassed working, in front of your mate. Don't just cast someone who'll split the cost of a scene with you because you'll get it cheaper. You need to really work opposite the best actor you can. It's your job to sell their performance. It's their job to sell your performance. If in your showreel scene, for example, you have to play terrified, if that actor you're working with cannot play terrifying, that's not going to sell your performance very well. The whole thing collapses. So you really want to, cast the very best actor that you can to play opposite you. So that's the first route you can go down, and you'll get some absolutely incredible footage, showing your acting ability off if you choose the producer correctly. Again, if you want recommendations, we can give you those in the comments. And the second route you can go down to get showreel footage, if you don't have the resources and the money to do that, and this is just as effective, honestly, don't worry about it, are what are called self-tapes. Now, self-tapes are scenes that you film of yourself at home, no frills. It's very often just against a plain background in your house. You can shoot these on your phone, and again, you're just showing your raw acting ability off. And actually, a lot of auditions done these days are done via self-tapes, particularly the first round. So one advantage of getting material, via self-tapes is you're practicing your audition game. You'll learn about that in the acting classes we spoke about before. But yeah, you're really you're just getting used to auditioning really at home, which is a huge part of your career. And the footage, again, can be really useful to send to casting people, to send to agents eventually when you're looking for representation, because there's absolutely nothing to hide behind. What we said before about the music, the color grading, the costume, the different edits, the different takes of a scene, you don't get any of that with self-tape. So you're vulnerable. You can really tell a fantastic actor in a self-tape. So that's 2 ways, to get some footage initially. If you want script ideas, you can ask ChatGPT to write you a script. You can go onto sites like BBC Writers, go into their script library, download some scenes. You can edit those scenes, rewrite them, make them your own. But ultimately, you'd be shooting yourself at home. Again, just acting. Only you on camera this time. Your reader would be off camera. So where in a scene, in a custom scene, you'd be both on camera, just you on camera in a self-tape. So choose what's right for you. If you don't have the money and the resources to go custom scene, do some self-tapes. I've seen so many actors in our community land opportunities, land auditions, and eventual roles on TV by just producing some absolutely top quality self-tapes. So that is point number 5, which moves us on, just look at here, to point number 6, which is where things get really, really, really exciting because your shop window is now ready, headshots and showreel. You're in a position to start sending those out to people in the industry and really to start self-submitting yourself to land your first few auditions. Now, the gold standard when it comes to casting platforms where you will find auditions and you'll be able to submit yourself for those auditions is Spotlight, and you'll find that at spotlight.com. Now, if you're just starting out though, which a lot of you will be, you're unlikely to be able to qualify for Spotlight right now. You need to have a certain number of professional credits or be represented by an agent registered with Spotlight to get on Spotlight. But do not worry, there are lots of other platforms that I'd like you to start using until you can get on Spotlight. And they are Mandy.com, Backstage, Star Now, and Casting Networks. Now, you don't need to be on all of them, okay? Go and just check each of these platforms out. You can start for free on all of them. You will need to pay to do various other things, but at least you can get going and you can see what opportunities are out there. The auditions you're going to find on these platforms are not going to be the high-end TV stuff you'd find on Spotlight, but they will still be great experience for you. There'll be things like student films, independent feature films, maybe some commercials, to be honest with you, some TV commercials. But you will still find jobs on there because right now it's all about exposure and experience for you. So what you do on these sites is you set up a profile, you upload your headshots that we've spoken about, you upload your showreel, and then you can submit yourself for work on the platform. But also, don't forget this as well, right? Once you've got that profile, you can start sending the link out to that profile just to other people in this industry. So join Facebook groups for filmmaking. You'll find independent filmmaking groups if you just search in the groups section on Facebook. Look for other acting groups, actor groups, and network with people in there. Again, do your due diligence, but you can start sending your profile links, to this platform or multiple platforms if you want to register on all of them, to people in the industry to start, just getting opportunity and getting eyeballs on your work. If you can introduce yourself on a weekly basis, I'd set yourself a challenge to like three people you've never met before. If you can introduce yourself via these platforms, via Facebook, send people that profile, you never know what it will lead to. And as I say right now, it's all about exposure. The more eyeballs on you and your work, the better. Step number 7 and 8 would be, landing an agent and getting on Spotlight, okay? We're not gonna cover those points in this video because they're massive things on their own. I'm going to create you guys a completely separate video on Spotlight, a completely separate video on agents, getting an agent, the red flags that you should look out for. Again, not all agents are equal. So I'm going to do that in a separate video. If you enjoy this, you've got value from this, don't forget, if you click this link up here and you want to hang out basically with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, and producers in TV every single week, come and join us on this, get a membership. We dive into this stuff on a weekly basis. So to recap, the 6 steps that I would take to land my first TV job in record time if I was starting again from zero are: number 1, I would get myself to a top TV acting class. It's got to be for TV. That's where it all begins. Point number 2, I would get myself some experience on set. Do that background work, okay? It's going to be absolutely invaluable. There are certain things that you just cannot learn in the classroom. Step number 3, I would set up my lifestyle to be able to say yes more often, basically. So really you want to start looking at side hustles, side gigs to win back your time, to still earn money, but ultimately to set you up so that 1 or 2 days a week you can say yes to opportunities in the acting industry. Number 4, you're going to need banging, I keep saying that word, but banging, authentically you headshots that really capture your essence and your casting type, okay? And the same with step number 5, your show reel, whether that is custom, shot from scratch stuff, or whether that is self-tapes, it still has to be, footage that really truly represents you, who you are, and your casting type. Both can be super effective though. And then after that, you've got all your market material together. Step number 6, I would start self-submitting to land auditions and screen work. It's not necessarily going to be TV stuff just yet. That's a little bit further down the line once we looked at Spotlight and getting an agent, which we're going to look at in the next few videos. Okay, but they are my 6 steps. Start working on them. The whole channel here, Act on This. It's all about acting on this advice. Get to work. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below. I will absolutely personally reply to every single one. But I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Do hit like, do hit subscribe, turn your notifications on. And as all the YouTubers say, I'm going to start saying it myself, we will see you in the next one. Until then, bye for now. If you enjoyed this video, YouTube thinks you should watch this one next. And if you want even more amazing videos on how to become a successful actor in the UK TV industry, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a thing.